Hey guys, Music here back with another Identity 5 video. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of my Axeboy gameplay. He was buffed, and then he was nerfed. Is he viable or not? Would I use him in rank? Well, I'll talk about that in this video. Alright, so the first match we're going to be looking at is on Moonlit. Moonlit is a relatively not so great map for Axeboy, being that it's all so spread out. The trees are all spread out. Although it is open, so that tends to favor hunters. It's still a pretty tough map for a feaster player, especially when the first survivor I come across is Priestess. Although I am able to go ahead and swing around that pallet and get a lucky first hit there. The Priestess is transitioning into the 2-story here. Now, Axeboy is a pretty tough character to learn here. His souls, after they got buffed, it was really good, and then he ended up getting a nerf, and that hurt him, made it so that his ability is easier to dodge, but he is still a very powerful player. His camping is amazing. Arguably some of the best camping in the game, on par with Feaster and Violinist. They both have extremely strong camping. And if you're able to learn how to get that first down really quick, you can get some really nice plays in with your camping. So I think I used that soul a little bit prematurely. But they are going to be able to get a rescue off of me. The Priestess was in a tough area, but then she portaled out of there. But I was able to predict that and use my charge attack to my advantage, so now all I need to do is chase the Priestess. And I see that the mercenary is over here, so I'm just going to throw down one of my trees here. And I'm going to make my way back to the original area. So as far as picking chairs go, I mean, yeah, you want to pick ones that are close to ciphers, but in addition to that, you want to pick ones that are close to trees, because the trees are what makes your camping so good in the first place. So in this, I personally feel that Axeboy needs to have peepers, because he doesn't have anything to he needs peepers because he doesn't have anything to counter Cypher Rush. I actually ended up hitting the mercenary there, but either way, I'm still going to chase the Priestess because the Priestess is dead on chair. I'm just going to make my way over this way, and I end up swinging through that pallet and getting the Priestess down. So now I know where the Merc is at, I know where the Priestess is at, and there's not a whole lot for rescue potential anymore. So I'm going to go ahead, take the Priestess to the chair, and I'm going to move my way back to where the mercenary was, which is over here. And I'm going to go ahead and take, once again, picking the chairs that are close to all the trees. I'm going to go ahead and camp this mercenary here. And I get the ping, so I know that someone's coming over from this way. I'm going to try to get an early hit on the mechanic here. But she's able to get to the chair, so I'm just going to use my soul here, and I get a hit on the mercenary and a hit on the mechanic. Now, unfortunately, they did get a Cypher primed, so I know the last thing I want is for him to use a coaster here, so I go ahead and use Blink here. I knew I had to get this down to at least get a draw, so I'm going to go over here. I just checked this gate, so I know nobody is over here, so I'm going to try to use my mobility as best I can, and I'm going to make my way over to the other gate. So now I'm just going to go ahead and place my Restful Road down, just so that I can get my mobility up there. And I end up seeing the footprints from where the mechanic is running. And at this point, there's no way the mechanic's going to be able to make it to the gate in front of me. So, she kind of messed up that gauntlet there, but that allowed me to get an easy hit on the mechanic here. I was about to crawl out, but I end up hitting the perfumer. So I'm going to go ahead and take the mechanic to the chair, and that's pretty much GG's for round 1. So you see that he's got relatively decent mobility, excellent camping, and if you can really just learn his early game chase, he can be a monstrous hunter. So we're going to, speaking of maps that are not great for Axe Boy, Leo's Memory. He's just really tough to play on larger maps because his trees are all spread out, which are really his only chase. So I end up coming over here, and the survivor, I believe, is over here. Yep. So watch what I do here. I take my soul, and I get an early hit on the entomologist. So this round I actually did get some pretty decent souls in there for you all to watch. So, and actually that soul is following the entomologist at this point. And I was able to use my soul and get a second hit on the entomologist for a super early close down. Even though that entomologist was tight cutting me there, I was able to use my souls to my advantage, and I was able to get an early down without actually getting that close to the entomologist ever. So she's in dungeon now, and the real way that they're going to be able to pull a rescue off this one is if the coordinator gets there. Otherwise, it's going to for sure be at least one hit on the rescuer. I think what happened there was I accidentally pulled the wrong soul to me. If it was the other one, that would have been a closer hit. So I see the coordinators here, and I predict that she'd be going down there, so I was able to get that hit there. And I use my soul there, and I almost get a second hit on the rescuer, but the coordinator shoots me with the flare gun. So at this point, that was about as good a rescue as what she could do. I end up entirely losing the entomologist here, so I decide that it's time to chase the coordinator. I think in this match I actually end up losing a lot of survivors. I couldn't find the entomologist for the life of me. I knew she went over somewhere this way, but I just didn't know where. And I end up seeing the doctor here. So again, using the soul early hit. And now I'm going to go ahead, place my restful road so I can get nice and close to her. And I'm able to use a charge attack to get my down. So now, again, Axe Boy's camping is very, very strong. So I'm going to go ahead and take the doctor to the basement here. And the only player that would have a chance at rescuing in basement at this point would be the mechanic, unless if they healed up. Then it would be smartest to send the coordinator in. Just because the coordinator both has not so great decoding right now and has, is not so great decoding right now and has not been shared. So I'm going to go ahead and patrol around this area, make sure nobody's decoding. And I'm making my way over this way. I'm just placing basically a security system so I can sort of figure out where they're coming from and adjust my plan accordingly. And my peeper actually ends up revealing the coordinator here, as I said, would be the best pick for a rescuer. So watch what happens here. I pull the soul to me, get a nice easy hit on the coordinator. I'm going to make my way down to basement. And that is a stuffed rescue. So basement is really good with Axe Boy if you're able to master your souls and get those hits in early. The coordinator's now in the rocket chair, and I can again just keep camping until I get this second down. So again, checking that cipher, looking out for where a rescue might be coming from. I'm going to make my way over here again, just placing my peepers so I can have a security system around this area. And at this point, I had no idea that she was using a pocket watch. So I was very, very confused when this happened. And I was like, what's happening? Why was the mechanic able to do that? But she ended up getting a pocket watch, so now I end up losing the coordinator. And you would think that's lag, but that's actually my final presence ability. When she left that corrupt area, she went a lot slower. I know that the mechanic isn't able to kite very well just because it's a mechanic. Their base kiting abilities are not so great here. And I'm able to down the mechanic that way. So I ended up losing the coordinator, but it didn't matter because I was able to use my souls to my advantage, use everything, and I was able to get a nice, easy down on the mechanic. So again, camping is extremely strong for Axe Boy, so I'm going to go ahead, and I see that soul is going around, so I know that the entomologist is here. I'm going to place my peeper so I know if she decides to come for a rescue. I kind of had an idea that wasn't going to hit, but I just kind of wanted to throw it down anyways. See if I could get a lucky attack there. But I know that the coordinator was decoding around that area. And I know the entomologist is over this way, so I know I really only need to look around in this general direction. And my souls are just kind of hanging around, so I can look towards that coordinator that's coming in for this rescue. I'm going to place my trees here. And I ended up accidentally hitting the coordinator here, but I've got all these restful roads around, so I'll be able to catch up in no time. That was a really close soul again, and I was able to use the acceleration effect to be able to down the mechanic nice and efficiently. So I'm going to take her to this chair here, again picking the chairs that are close to the trees. Oh, never mind, she was dead on chair, it didn't really matter. So I just want to make it to this cipher as soon as possible because I didn't know how much was left on it. So I'm just going to kind of half-heartedly kite this area, just half-hearted chase, because at this point I know I've kind of got to win. So and this entomologist is doing a really nice job tight kiting me here. So now I know that this is going to be a win because I have my sights on the last survivor. As soon as I catch up with a restful road or something, this entomologist is going to be an easy down for me. As I said, restful road, and I downed the entomologist. So I'm going to go ahead and take her to a chair. I'm going to make my way over towards the gate area. And I actually see that my tinnitus is going off, and I've got that purple soul there, so I know something's going on. And I actually end up seeing the coordinator here. So what I'm going to do is just charge attack here. I would have hit that, but when I was scrolling, I accidentally hit the tree button, so I wasn't able to pan my camera angle from left to right. Again, using my restful road to catch back up. Excuse me. I got palace on there, but again, when there's only one survivor remaining, you don't have to be super careful about going around those pallets and stuff, because you kind of know that you're gonna down them anyways. So I actually ended up getting the 4-man on that one again. So now we're going to take a look at my last match of this video, which is on Moonlit again, tough Axe Boy map. And the build that I'm using here, it's my old build. I think this is one of my first Axe Boy games since the rework, so I didn't really know quite what build to play yet. So I'm going to be looking around here, looking for a survivor to chase. I found the mercenary first, which is definitely not ideal. And I see the prospector way over there. I don't really like the idea of chasing a prospector as an Axe Boy, but I didn't really have much other choice. I kind of had to settle for a kite at this point. And the range of the prospector stuns are ginormous. I just placed my tree down just in case he decides to make his way around into two-story. And I just kind of used that so I would be able to get my speed boost so I wouldn't lose the prospector. Because if I knew that if I lost this chase, I was going to be hard put trying to catch back up. And that was a pretty close hit there, but again, the souls are really tough to land after the nerf. Just because, yeah, they're really tough to land after the nerf. Just because the radius at the circle is a lot longer, and the speed at which they come to the survivor is really slow. See, again, easy. They're relatively easy to juke now at this point, and this prospector is gonna get the roller coaster here, so that's a little annoying. But I have to get this down at this point. I can't risk starting another chase. So I'm still going to chase the prospector here. I see he went down the other way, so I'm just going to make my way over. And he was seeing if he could hide out there, but I wasn't going to let that happen. That was a pretty premature swing there, and I should have charged attacked. And I see that the super portal is being made here, so I'm like, okay, I know I have to get this hit in time. And I was able to do that right before he was able to get to the super portal, because I knew if I did that, then I would be forced to use my trump card early. Again, you see relatively easy to evade. I don't really know what that was. I kind of just used an elbow pad and went nowhere. But I'm going to go ahead and take this prospector to the chair. Now, it does seem like it's game over, but remember, like I said before, Axe Boy's strong game is his camping. So let's take a look at what I do here. So I place my tree down over here. I got my soul here, and I was able to get the terror shock on the mercenary. So I was able to stuff the mercenary that time. I'm going to place my peeper down so he's down and out for forever. I see the priestess is coming up. Watch this. Comes up close. I get the soul. Another stuffed rescue. So you can see Axe Boy has extremely strong camping if you really learn how to use his souls effectively. And I've learned how to use them for chase really well. I just have a really tough time using them for... or I can use them for camping really well, I just have a harder time during the chase. So, again, use the soul nice and early. The prisoner kind of wasted his stun there, but the priestess is back up. Now, I thought I was close enough to get that hit, but I guess I wasn't. And I'm going to go ahead and follow the prospector here. I should have just taken the mercenary and stuck him on the chair at that point, but... So now I'm just going to wait here. The prospector's just waiting out his last effort. It's kind of annoying how long last effort lasts, honestly. Again, pick the chair that's close to the trees. Oh, he was dead on chair. I always forget that sometimes. But I had a feeling they were going to be healing up, so I'm going to make my way back to this area. Now, what the survivors should have done is they should have made their way into 2-story, just because this area's got so many souls and things for me to use. It would be really tough for survivors to work around in this area. And I end up seeing the footprints over here, so I'm going to go ahead and I got a nice hit with the souls on the mercenary, and I'm just going to wait until that runs out so I'm able to camp the mercenary. So I'm going to pick this chair here. There's a whole lot of trees around this area, so that makes it really easy for me to work around, both because I got my speed so I can get to the chair if necessary, and I'm able to have plenty of souls for me to work with here. So again, early soul, and I down the priestess once again. Just a little tidbit of showing the Axe-Boy's camping powers there. I'm still going to camp this mercenary here because I didn't know if he was going to try to attempt a last resort rescue here, or if he was going to try to decode his last cipher. But I see the purple soul there, which means that he is going to try to come. So I see him right over here. And I end up using that too early there. That was a good stun by the prisoner here. But all I need to do is get close to him and down the prisoner, and that's the game. Alright, so just some closing remarks as Axe-Boy as a whole. If you're able to get your early chase down really well, Axe-Boy can be an extremely scary hunter for survivors to go after because his camping is just absolutely amazing, as you saw, especially in that last video there. Would I use him in ranked / tournament play? I mean, I wouldn't. Even though Axe-Boy isn't bad, his ability is sometimes unreliable, especially even more so now with the nerf where they increase the radius the souls circle at and decrease the speed at which the souls move at, making them easier to juke. So would I personally use him? Probably not, but he is definitely a very viable hunter, and I think we can predict to see him some eventually in tournament play as people get used to his rework and using that to their advantage. But yeah. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.